Division S North America, it continues, and we are looking at another best of 5 series. Perfect Gems go up against the Order of the Sleeping Dragon, and our first map in the best of 5 is Volskaya Foundry, with Unaverted on Hanzo, Pogax on Liming, we have Wreck on Varian, Legacy on Deckard, and Valamar on Deathwing. Yep, the Dragon made it into the draft again. Shogal, on the other hand, was once again banned out. Again, the reason why we don't show the draft in those North American matches is because they're cast from replays. Obviously, with the time difference, I can't cast those lives, and unfortunately, replays don't include draft information. Corgi Booty on Leoric, we have Enigmatic on Lunara, Treebeard on Sylvana, Shot on Johanna, and Elheim on Morales. Also, as we're heading into this, a little bit of housekeeping for everybody watching on YouTube now, since the question keeps popping up. Why exactly the spoiler protection is gone? Well, pretty simple reason. As I said when I introduced it, I was asking people to support the channel a little bit on Patreon, for example, and unfortunately that nowhere near made up for the losses in ad revenue and also the losses in viewership on the channel, simply because that obviously screws with the algorithm of YouTube quite a bit. So for the time being, I actually had to drop the spoiler protection, but I also connected it to a milestone goal on Patreon, so that at least at some point we might be able to put that back in, because again, at the end of the day, I also have to pay the bills. So if you guys are interested to support the stream and my work, then you can head over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube video description, and you can check that out if you want. But that's pretty much the reason why, at least for now, we don't have that spoiler protection anymore in the YouTube videos. If there are any questions, you can of course write comments also in the YouTube description, in the comment section, and I'm going to be happy to answer through all of those. But as it stands, we're heading into our first map of the best of 5. We have a little bit of Varian in play, and actually the Lions more on level 1. Okay, so don't see that all that often. But still hope for Taunt with the build that they have here. I mean, they have a lot of good lockdown. But if you think about it, Varian is actually played in a main tank position now even. So not even as that side laner that we sometimes see, that's Deathwing's job. But they're still trying to go for the lockdown with hopefully Varian Taunt plus Deckard Cain behind it, and then the damage from Hanzo and Liming. We look over to the red team, and it's a little bit wild. I mean, North America really likes their Lunara these days. We had so many Lunara games already in North American Division S. They have even Morales comboed off with her. There's the Taunt! Yep, here we go. Taunt, obviously, the talent on Varian on level 4. Only Quick Match and Storm League players really think that Taunt is not a great talent and not by far the best talent on that tier level. It's actually kind of sad to see how little a lot of people playing that game know about the mechanics of Heroes of the Storm, but it's an unfortunate truth. We also have Triumph right now for Liming. That talent, of course, shows now a lot more after Blizzard made a couple of changes to Dominance. Pretty much we have seen nearly every single variation of the level 4 talent these days. And even the Siphoning Toxing. That's an interesting one, because normally the talent gets picked when you have no faith in your support. So I'm not quite sure what happened between Elheim and Enigmatic, but apparently trust has vanished. And Enigmatic is just sitting there saying like, dude, like, I don't know, I don't believe that you can keep me alive here. I hinted at it, by the way, at the beginning of the game a little bit, but I want to highlight it again. Shogal is full on in the meta now on the North American side. Taunt and kill.
First blood.
Shogal gets actually banned in nearly every game now on the North American Division S matches, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. The hero has been played over and over again. Europe hasn't really caught up to that hype yet and just said like, yeah, the hero might have a little bit more of a place than before, especially with Oriel and her resurrect changes, but no, just no. But on the NA side, it's very different. He's either a pick or he's a ban. Deathwing, on the other hand, makes it actually in games on the NA side quite regularly. Not all that often, he's still banned a fair amount, but if you compare that to Europe, where even after the changes in the recent patch and the slight nerfs that the hero received, we have pretty much insta-bans from European teams against Deathwing in every single game. Very, very rarely does the hero make it through the first ban phase and is then usually chosen as a first pick even. Oh, no, why? No Calamity. Yeah, NA just continues to be NA. So we have an AWP build over here. No Calamity. as we've gone over. Oh, nice taunt. Okay, trying to get the kill in. Locked down. Here comes Deckard Cain, the old man. Hit him with a stick. Hit him with a stick. And instead, we have Varian focused and dropped here. Sylvana gets finally murdered. She gets Hanzo'd, but Hanzo gets punished for his sins just a second later as the teams both fight for the first objective. And it seems like Deathwing turns into Deathwing in a moment. Not quite is able to get away here. But yeah, we went over the level 7 talent on Li Ming multiple times now, and as you've already seen, if you watch the channel at any point, European teams on the top level exclusively pick Calamity. It is also the talent that was exclusively picked on the hero on the high level of play in HGC for 2 years and even before that. But sometimes on NA, talents like this one sneak in and they're playing their full-on AWP build, which is usually more so something that you see on the casual level, where people don't really know how to play the hero properly. Also, it's kind of fitting that a team that is called Perfect Gems play Deckard Cain and go for all the gems. Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald. So whoever created the team name is definitely a big Deckard Cain fan. With level 7 talents, we're back to the NA standard on Lunara, the Choking Pollen. Now, first of all, of course, you don't see Lunara a whole lot in Europe. The European meta is not that much centered around her. But when she's played, then it's traditionally the Splintered Spear that gets chosen on level 7 and not Choking Pollen, but NA really likes the talent. Level 7 abilities are followed by Heroics, and with that, Leo... Oh, for the love of God, please, don't. Don't, just don't. Oh, he goes for the march of the memes. Oh my god. Varian is down. No entomb from Leoric. And, well, at this point, they still get the double kill here without any trouble whatsoever. Heroics don't even have to be used for that. Varian is down, and so is Hanzo. 4 kills against 2, and they're looking for more. Deathwing is in trouble and is barely making it out of harm's way. But it opens up the map for the red team. Again, Sleeping Dragon, you should never wake them. And so far, they're looking pretty awake to me. At least they were able to get the first objective, destroying the top fountain. Now with 4 kills against 2 and a bit of a number advantage on the map, they went straight in for the healing beacon. And now also picking up another turret. So far, so good from their perspective. Varian also, now again with the shield walled on level 10. Again, the talent to go for. We have Deathwing with Burn Beneath My Shadow. And Deathwing pretty much with the typical build so far. Has gone into Dragon Soul, into Heatwave, and then into Skyfall. More or less the build that you also see when, on those rare occasions, the hero gets picked on the European side. But the red team is doing well. Sleeping Dragon with 12 to 11. We have now at the top side, Corgi Booty playing that solo lane again and trying to go straight in for Deathwing. Down here on the other hand, hoppity hop and get wrecked, baby. Bambi down as Deckard Cain goes in for the kill. But once more, we have Hanzo falling. Hanzo's actually getting bullied in this game. I mean, he is getting bullied a lot. That guy has already died 3 times now. Not really a good look for him. Deathwing with 27,000 damage. Valamar comes in. And the Sleeping Dragon trying to escape here, but they get burned to a crisp here. Sylvanas eliminated, nearly followed by a second kill. We could avert at least that. 5 against 4 now. But at least level 13 talents in just a few seconds for the red team. So they still hold on to an advantage, which leads now to abolish magic. So no greater spell shield, actually. Which is also interesting. I mean, you're going up against, especially, of course, Li Ming, but also Hanzo. So I would have expected Greater Spell Shield to be taken to just dodge out on some of the damage. But not the case here. Leo goes for traditional talents now on level 13. And will hopefully also follow up with the 16 choice that corresponds with it. So Royal Focus should make its way in. But we're going to have that 13 versus 13 fight over Protector number 2 for sure. So I don't know where you want to go, my friend, but yeah, Li Ming, you're in trouble, or at least you should be in trouble. Yeah, they're trying to make the play. Now Entomb would be really useful, by the way. That would have been an easy kill with Entomb, just saying. Blessed Shield was already thrown out to provide a little bit of... Oh my fucking god, like what? Are you serious? Glass Cannon in Division S? Oh my god, North America. I mean, they really have to keep Li Ming at a distance now. If Lunara ever gets on her with a leaping strike, then it's getting... Okay, so, well, let's see. Yeah, 2 auto attacks connect, and she gets W through, and all of a sudden half HP. Yeah, that's gonna be a wild one for Li Ming for sure. Now she gets, of course, a bit of damage out, but if they focus on her just a little bit, even with Leo just ghosting into the backline and hitting the face with a mace, then that is going to be a big issue. So, interesting. It's a nice setup. This is a build that you see in Europe on Division 7. But then again, different regions, different meta. But, yeah. It's just what it is. For now, the blue team actually holds up to the top because the red team has decided that they want to have a few more items. They already have the lead in levels now, which gives them a stats boost. But thanks to the healing beacon, they can try and make the play here. Still, Leo trying to move in here, and they're getting good damage onto Varian, but they don't go in for the kill yet. Deathwing is already here too, and the team is ready to fight over the checkpoint again. Both of them are still looking at the poke. And of course, Li Ming needs to do exactly that, poke from a distance and make sure that that level 7 talent gives her some value and that she stays far away so that she doesn't get dropped because she is dropping her max health here. So that's another aspect of it. I think that if Leo goes into the backline and starts to go for her, that might become an issue, but for now actually, the combo is missing as Li Ming is keeping herself as far away as she possibly can. And the team is trying to set up for that. Damage output against Deathwing is already there as the red team is trying to put the dragon to sleep. Another attack down here. Arrow connects. Lunara gets out. And Shot moves in to try and drop Hanzo, but this time he's likely gonna fall. Yes, there's the kill. We have already the stim drone on Sylvanas, but Leo is dead too, and that means that the entire front line of Sleeping Dragon has been eliminated. The team in red is trying to move away, and Sylvanas gets murdered. Nicely played by Legacy. Anticipated that already, locked them down over here, and just dropped the damage, so well done. Now level 16 talents for both teams should be ready in a few seconds. There's still maybe a chance for Sleeping Dragon to make a fight happen at the top, but honestly, not really. They would have to rush back topside with those heroes instantly, especially since there's another 15 seconds now for Sylvanas and we're already at 90%, so they had to let this Protector slide. They lost the first one, but they're able to win Protector number 2. And with level 16 talents, we see the Orb build continue, going into the Arcane Orbit now on level 16. And plus, in addition to that, of course, the Heraldric Staff for the old man with the Banner of Dalaran as Varian moves in. Easy 4 taken down. Should see a rotation towards the bottom of the map in an attempt to drop the bottom fountain in the bot lane so that they have an easier time for objective number 3, or at least try and get some damage done in the middle of the map. 22 stacks, by the way, for Varian on his level 1. Only quest talents that we currently see here. And off we go. There's the Blessed Shield, and glass cannon value right there. Li Ming down, got flanked, and couldn't escape from this one. Was a good setup from Johanna. The fight isn't over, though. They might actually even lose a couple of heroes here, but now that the old man is also down, Deckard Cain and Li Ming missing, they might get more. Yeah, the dragon gets put to sleep as the red team comes in with a quick kill against Deathwing, and now we're seeing the Protector also rush away. Didn't really get the value that they were hoping for. They were able to take down the top fort, but not much more than that. So a really nice fight here by Sleeping Dragon, given the circumstances. Getting the kills in and making the plays. Now as they're moving through the bottom of the map, we're seeing them also use Sylvanas to her fullest extent, dropping the towers without any problem whatsoever. Drop the fountain, and that would be the setup. Yep, fountain is definitely going to fall, so for the next one we're going to have a nice setup right here. Has Corgi Booty used his ult? Every single time I check Leo out, he is still able to use it and not on cooldown. He might have used it already, but there were so many opportunities for good entombs, to be absolutely honest with you. He's sitting at 26,000 damage, so the drains that he gets through against Deathwing are actually not too bad. 40,000 damage on Lunara, not quite top damage for her. That actually goes to Deathwing with 57,000. In addition to that, we have Hanzo on 55. Yeah, Li Ming, 26,000 damage. But walks away with a really good wave gear. That was a great setup, though. That was a fantastic setup. And Sylvanas gets Hanzo'd. They also get the kill against Lunara. Nice game. Back and forth here with kill after kill. Now that Morales is down, they're trying to chase down Johanna, and she's gonna fall too. Only Leo survives. And that's 4 heroes easily eliminated by perfect gems. Yeah, nicely done. So both teams now aiming for level 20, of course, but with 4 heroes down, it also means that the mid lane is open and the fort can be taken down, which is exactly what they're doing here. And down to the bottom, it's more items. Items, items, items. One of the most important things that you can possibly focus on this map. Always gives you the advantage there. They're stealing them away from Sleeping Dragon, who still are missing 4 heroes on the map. So the bot lane is easily eliminated now by perfect gems. That big fight massively brought them back into this. They're ahead in experience now, they're ahead in kills, and they are starting to look pretty solid over here. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but Fort is down. There are still 2 mercenary camps on the map, but it's all about level 20 and getting those storm talents in. And yeah, it's a 5 versus 5 on the map again. Red team should definitely try and send someone topside in order to catch that XP before the next objective is being unlocked. Bot lane protector could definitely result in the keep being dropped, since both of the teams have already lost the forts there. And here we go. That's the XP that they need. 20s on the other hand already used from perfect gems. And let's see what we're gonna get. So far, Bullseye for Hanzo. Variant goes straight into the Taunt upgrade. Repulsion also used for Li Ming. Okay, waiting for Deckard Cain. And we have Deathwing once more with a Destroyer's Rampage. Arrow is missing though. That one didn't connect. And here we have it. The bottomless flask for Deckard Cain. On this map, definitely a fantastic talent to take. If you're absolutely honest, it's pretty much a great talent on any map for objectives. It's just fantastic with the setup that you can use. Level 20 is now in for the opponent, and that means that Bambi gets the Boundless Stride. We have also the Deafening Blast. Morales upgrades her ult 2 with the Hyperactivity. And the objective has been unlocked. So yeah, we are ready to go for maybe not the final fight in this, but it's going to be one of the decisive ones for sure. At least it should be. I mean, that Protector, 16, 17 minutes in now, should start to do some serious damage. And if they can get a quick kill in, that would be that. If you get a team wipe here, for example, you might even be able to go for core. Indestructible for Jojo. She wants to go deep here. Li Ming now has to keep herself far in the back. Tries to wait for the setup with Varian. And Leo goes in with a Burning Despair. Despair he might, but the kill against Hanzo gives him a little bit more hope as Deathwing joins the fun again and Li Ming gets murdered. Once again, there's Corgi. He's looking for the booty and he uses the memes to march straight into battle with his ult. Now they go for Deathwing, and Deathwing is being put to rest pretty quickly. And with a full-on 5-man wipe, they are aiming for the keep immediately. They can't go for core here. I mean, with Sylvanas, that's going to be a keep that is destroyed within seconds, and with the entire team wiped off the floor, this is of course going to be the end of it. They have another 30 seconds until they are back to business, and there is just nothing that can be done. 11 against 13, and the Order of the Sleeping Dragon. They're making it happen. They get the victory here on the first map in the Best of 5 series of Division S North America and take down perfect gems. And this one, nano boosted, oh sorry, the hyperactivity on Johanna, and that's the end of the game. 1-0 lead for the Sleeping Dragon in the Best of 5. Game number 2, ladies. Perfect gems down 1 game in the Best of 5. And on the left side on Dragonshire, our second map, we have Unaverted playing Greymane. D-Rack on ETC, Pogex on Kalthas, Valamar on Urel, and Legacy on Whitemane. And it gets wild for the Sleeping Dragon. It gets really wild now. We have Illidan, first of all. Corgi Booty is going to look for that booty as he starts to hunt in, hopefully. Elhaim on Rhaegar, Enigmatic on Phoenix. We have Treebeard on Sergeant Hammer and Shot on Uther. So we're actually looking at Uther main tank, and at his side, it's not really a proper like second bruiser, not Blaze or anything. Nope, it's Illidan instead. So it's going to be exciting to say the least. We already have the Unending Hatred on level 1 chosen for Illidan, so he's going to look for that auto attack damage. Also, with auto attack damage, there's of course Hammer that you need to think about, the advanced artillery, which finally proves that there's also other regions and not only the Germans playing the Panzer. At the top lane, Illidan is already accompanied by a couple of additional heroes as the 3-man is trying to, well, maybe even get a bit of structural damage done, but the Space Goat is ready for action, and the flip in the wall against 2. That could be quite a bit of damage, but it's not going to lead to a kill anytime soon. Yeah, so off we are to the races. Over here, a bit of a warp out as Phoenix was trying to make his play. ETC also getting chased quite quickly, but there's already a bit of a trap set up at the side. Flame Strike. Khaldor's going into Mana Addict. Honestly, with all of the meme talents that we're seeing these days, I wait for the day when we head into Division S North America and we see a Khaldor go straight into Convection. It's only a matter of time. That said though, it's not really the typical map for Khaldor. Again, since these are replays, this also means that of course we couldn't look at the draft, but there is the chance that Khaldor was picked as a bit of a counter damage against Sergeant Hammer. That Hammer was picked earlier and Khaldor as an attempted follow-up. Back in the days, by the way, that setup with Khaldor and ETC was incredibly powerful. That must have been along 2017, I want to say. Back then, that was the dream combo that you try to lock in for yourself, because a power slide into a gravity lapse is an incredible tool to just CC someone into oblivion and set a potential kill up. And in this game, they can make that play too and follow up with Greymane, especially after he gets his heroic ability. So it's not like that hasn't any promise, but it's going to be a little bit tougher to execute properly. Talking Khaldor, he's getting a bit of a beating at the bottom of the map, but up here at the top, it's also a big fight that's currently happening. Khaldor, together with Whitemane, has now been able to push Hammer off the shrine, and therefore the bot lane is going to go to the blue team. But all the way up at the top, one is already getting recaptured. And Illidan in a bit of trouble, yeah. 6 stacks so far on his level 1, has 10 hit points roughly, as he moves out of harm's way, unbound with the 4 stacks now. Bit of a rotation towards Uther in the middle, and Shot is walking out, no problems for him. But it's Hammer time at the bottom of the map. Treebeard. Yeah, I don't need that shrine. I'm gonna siege up right here. Let's go. Okay, and at this point, what else are we gonna get? There's already a Greymane grabbing the shrine topside, so now they have a little bit of pressure, but Uther is sitting in the middle, trying to make the play for Corgi Booty down here. And down to the bottom of the map, the 3-man of Sleeping Dragon is pushing them back. Now the late game, just in general, is going to be much better for Sleeping Dragon. Illidan is a hero that thrives once that structures are being taken down, that has a much better chance when he has a little bit of space and room to work with. And also, as his stacks come in on the Unending Hatred, this is going to help him too. He has a tough time here, so does the little doggy at the bottom of the map, but they're still fighting for it. And Greymane goes down. Khaldor with the damage. And they're trying to get the setup here. Where's the slide? Does he have a cool already? ETC! And it drops too. Khaldor with the gravity lapse just a second too late, but at least Whitemane can get the kill against Uther in. The problem is they might lose Whitemane now too, and very likely will, and there it is. 3 kills against 1, level 7 talents, a lot faster for them. Illidan nearly falling to Yrel at the top, but the camp was stolen away by Order of the Sleeping Dragon. Khaldor also now with the Sunfire enchantment, as Illidan finally dies to Yrel in that 1-on-1 setup. Always a little bit weird to see Sunfire enchantment here for me personally. Again, coming from the European meta, you would never really see that happening there. If anything, then it's usually the Flame Strike build that gets played by him. But also, it's a hero that mostly sees value on Infernal Shrines, on Europe, or on Tomb of the Spider Queen, with very few exceptions. But as it stands, with level 7 talents now in the hands of both teams, we have the big fight at the bottom, and the hammer is down! Yeah, Whitemane dropping the hammer. And unaverted, trying to go for the shrine, with Uther still holding the middle. He's the one who has that range book that he could use there. But the pressure is obviously on. The camp that was claimed by the red team is still there. Nice, here's the setup, exactly as I mentioned earlier. Gravity Lapse and the Power Slide working together. But unfortunately for them, they didn't have enough damage to drop any of these heroes. But after level 10, that could become a reality. Again, it's a CC train that is oftentimes difficult to deal with. There's of course now the Hand of Protection from Uther, so that's going to help them. Down to the bottom of the map, they're making the play for Greymane. And Phoenix goes down instead. Yeah, Greymane a little bit sneaky here, and they even get another kill, aren't they? That's Rhaegar down, Greymane walks away. Just another day at the office. And they might even get a kill against Treebeard. And yes, there's the Flame Strike kill. 6 kills against 3, well played. And Illidan is just struggling against Valamar. I mean, he just is. That lane is going to be dominated by Yrel. Yrel is one of the best heroes that you can take on this map for the top lane. Raxa, the king of Dragonshire, of course, still a bit superior. But she is still fantastic, even though she's not really that big a deal in the meta anymore. Oh, Pyroblast on level 10. Also, Uther down, and they get the Dragonite as the top lane is under even more pressure because Illidan is just losing this battle 6 days to Sunday. Is trying to change it, but that's not going to be easy for him. There's a bit more poke from the Dragonite as Greymane is the one dropping the Fire Breath time and time again. We even have Planet Cracker now for Phoenix, no salvo, and indeed it's the hunt. The hunt is in. More Flame Strike value against Sergeant Hammer. Also, more stun since Uther goes straight in with the Divine Storm. But 7 kills against 3 give a pretty big lead over to Perfect Gems. And they definitely decided they want to make sure that they are not falling behind with an 0-2 and want to play the rest of the series from even footing into Game 3. We're not quite there yet, obviously, duh, but still. Pretty good setup. Good stuns too. And he could even hunt. I don't think he will. Or will he? And no. Rhaegar falls though. The fight here in the middle still over the fort. Unaverted comes back out. But there's still quite a bit of damage to be had here. Top side though. They go for Yrel again. Yrel low. 1 stun. And Illidan dives in deep. Gets the heal. And gets nearly dropped by Valamar. Space Go jumps in, hooves first. Even the BFG was used in the middle of the map to get a bit more damage in, but damn, this game is currently hyper-aggressive all over the place. So, with level 13 talents soon in, let's take a quick look at the damage output. Look at Yrel, sitting at 17,000 because of this endless brawl she had with Illidan throughout the early game. 17,000 also for Greymane, who eventually is likely going to take over, or Kel'Thas, who's shortly behind. 16,800 for Phoenix. And off we go. I mean, there's a lot of stuns, actually. If they time Planet Cracker around that, that would really be nice. Shield is ready for Kel'Thas, so a bit more survivability for him. Pyromaniac on level 13, so pretty standard. At least for us, but what's standard on an A? Very different meta, as we said. I mean, the Cho'Gall priority in and of itself is already such a big change. Rhaegar with a self-ancestral might still fall. Good stun from Uther. The doggy gets away, but Unaverted follows, and the pack leader drops the whelp. There's party time now also happening. Even more CC in, and Uther just explodes as the living bomb takes him apart. Was a quick one. Nearly also the extra damage on Illidan completed, so he will have the 40 auto attack damage. This is bonus, or his quest reward is going to kick in once that's the case. But you just look at the setup on the map and it's 10 kills against 3. So far, Perfect Gems are definitely controlling the game here. They had the first objective, they're controlling the camps right now. Yrel is maybe not having an easy time against 2 heroes at the top side, but she's actually holding the lane fairly well, considering the circumstances, and that allows the rest of the team to be super aggressive at the bottom of the map, where that 4-man is now starting to push aggressively in with a double camp. Siege Giants plus Knights. And they are going to murder that fort. Illidan is moving into the middle, so it's already pinged. He might actually just hunt in and try and force a 5 versus 4 fight here. And he could. He has to. Yeah, Kel'Thas is already rushing away here. Illidan is in place. And Yrel is starting to move back down. Illidan actually now rotating away too, but it seems like at least the fort... one Flame Strike and that thing is over. Illidan though... Uh-oh, can he jump in? And... yeah, that was nearly enough stuns to drop him. Close though. Big lead. blue team level away from 16. And then it's going to become really, really spicy. So the 16 talent advantage could lead to another Dragon Knight, no problem. But for now, it still fights an even talents, and here it goes. The stun, BFG, they go for Kalthas. Everything is thrown at him. Illidan with a hunt, and Kalthas goes down. There was just a little bit too much for him to handle. And Illidan is now trying to thrive in the space that was created here for him. Uther with another additional stun. Legacy a bit low. Hammer is eliminated, and they're following into fort range. The stun is there again. The go jumps in. And shot is getting dropped on Uther. 2-for-1 trade currently, and they're looking for more. They go in with a power slide. They lock Phoenix down. He doesn't have a chance trying to escape here. Illidan is again chasing, but he's also isolated and barely makes it out. Slides away just as we have another attempt to lock Rhaegar down. Dodging out on the power slides though. Nicely done. But he is dropped once again, and the 16 talents are now ready for the blue team too. They're going to look to take another Dragon Knight here. By now, Ignite taken, Imposing Presence, and also the Executioner. Already 2 heroes on their way towards the top side, as Illidan is at least for now controlling one of the shrines. There's a few more that are respawning, so they actually have 4 on the map again, but they're still waiting for Rhaegar to come back. Still an opportunity for the blue team to make this work, and I think they will. Well, Illidan is there, Kalthas too, but Hammer is starting to follow. Oh my god, Illidan actually didn't move in range. And now down here they go for Uther. They might just be able to get the kill again. Yeah, Yrel jumps in, and that should actually be able to drop him. Illidan has also fallen at the top side, and this is an easy Dragon Knight. They are crushing. Sleeping Dragon won game number 1, but over here they even can decide who's rocking the Dragon Knight. They have vision on the opponent. They start to take the camp down here. ETC is finally grabbing the DK, and they are dominant in game number 2. I mean, absolutely dominant. Unless there's going to be a big fight turning the tides, Sleeping Dragon is going to likely look at a loss on Dragonshire. They need a team wipe. Or at least a big team fight where they drop like 3 to 4 heroes. Like, they need some momentum, something that will allow them to go cross map, drop a couple of structures, maybe take a few camps here away, or grab an objective for themselves. But right now, they're just getting beaten up here. They're getting bullied across the map, seriously. That setup that they're trying to run here just doesn't work. Again, Kalthas being attacked, use the shield, Predator Cracker is in, and Whitemane with the ult as they are making the plays. The ancestral attempt by Rhaegar, but he's down as Kalthas gets the kill. And now they are moving in with another Ignite setup against Corgi Booty. He's also losing hit points, and as you can obviously tell, the keep is not made to last, at least not when it comes to this attack. There's Siege Giants in the back, a second catapult is already moving in. I don't think we're going to see an attempt for core. Well, actually, seems like they might. They still have a talent advantage, but not for much longer. If the catapults make it to the core, that's a different story. Without Rhaegar, they obviously don't have a support here. And that shield is actually dropping fast. Illidan gets some aggro. Well, they have the core down to 95%. They can definitely get a little bit more here if they really want to. But they're starting to fall back here. With Rhaegar back, it's a 5 versus 5. You don't have the talent advantage here anymore either, so you need to be careful with that. Good damage against Treebeard, by the way. Kalthas Ignite does work. But now 16. And 16 also gives us Giant Killer for Sergeant Hammer. That, of course, is going to be a pretty nice one. 3 levels ahead, by the way. 3 full levels. There's a big chunk of experience in the top lane that is lost to them now. Greymane actually tries to get up there quickly enough. I mean, thankfully for them, Blizzard... Oh, actually, just lets it go. Really? Alright, fair enough. I mean, that's pretty much a big chunk towards level 20, and I think they could have fallen back towards that camp a second later. So, not sure why. But yeah, lost some of that. Kalthas takes the rest. Ford has taken some damage. Camp is now taken at the bottom of the map. Blue team has 0 interest of fighting right now. None. None whatsoever. Why would they? They wait for level 20. And once they have that, they can still take the battle. 44,000 damage now from Greymane. bit of a poke is happening. Uther and Whitemane with the ult, but the damage is in. The beams were crossed. Planet Cracker plus BFG. Uther still dead though. Still no 20 on the other side. But Illidan is trying to do his thing now. But he doesn't have enough space here just yet. He's in tower range now. Level 20 talents are ready for them. And that gives us also the Flame Strike upgrade for Khaldor. Has the distance and gets the kill against Sergeant Hammer. Hammer is down. That's another kill. So we have a 4 versus 3 on the map now. Illidan is starting to hunt Greymane down. And he's actually going to... Oh, he's not even getting the kill against him. Oh my god. All of them escape, aren't they? No. Illidan again denied. Deny after deny after deny. Unbelievable that the blue team stayed alive throughout all of this. Top lane Ford is now about to be lost too, as the camp pushes through to take it. Two siege giant camps have been taken, but this is getting a little bit nuts. Tour bus for ETC, the flamethrower, Seraphim, and Hunter's blunderbuss. But boy, is this getting annoying for the red team. Can you imagine being on Sleeping Dragon at this point? You pretty much have Illidan in a position where it looks for a moment like he could clean the complete team up. If they get 3 kills with Illidan as he jumps from target to target, they could have easily come back into this. Because all of a sudden they would have grabbed the Dragon Knight, they would have been able to take a few camps, maybe get the keep at the bottom of the map. But the exact opposite happens. Everybody just escapes because ETC and Urel in particular work together in beautiful fashion. Oh, well, Illidan right now has 54 auto attack damage that he can run. Oh, 54 is actually quite solid here for him. Rhaegar's taking the bottom shrine already, and they're going for Uther again. Trying to drop Uther here. Spray game is on point, but that's the only thing that's on point. He goes down. That's 20 kills against 5. Did we actually see a single Pyroblast, by the way? I'm not sure if we saw one. Maybe I just missed it. But yeah, ETC is now looking towards the bottom of the map to secure themselves another Dragon Knight. The rest of the team is obviously already sitting in the middle, and without Uther there's pretty much no chance for them to make a play here. I love how they are just having all the time in the world. They're like, do you want it? Nah, I had it last time. You take it this time. It's fine. Unaverted is the one who finally says, okay, I'm gonna do it, boys. And he swings the battle axe as the Dragon Knight enters the game again. And they're starting to just move in right away. Okay. There's already Valamar starting to take down those few catapults that are bringing pressure to the bot lane. But you can already tell the red team knows exactly what's going to happen here. It would be a miracle if they can somehow stop this. It would honestly be a miracle. Yeah, nicely done. Siege tactics. No pun today. No. Dragon Knight doesn't get the value there, but Khaldor is already firing away at the core. Actually, they might be able to just survive this, are they? No, maybe. Stun and the kill against Whitemane. The Pyroblast. Yep, Turbos on the other hand connects. Can they get the kill? Nope. Doggy doesn't even have to use anything else there. Urel is down. Guys, they're going to defend this. They're actually going to defend this. The core didn't even get scratched. Like nothing. Rhaegar is down. At least they get a counter kill. But damn, they're on the run here. And Illidan is now starting to use all of the space to get more value. And gets dropped. And spreads the love to shot. Illidan down. Khaldor with the kill. And he gets even more damage now over here. Another kill as Greymane is pretty much telling Uther that he is not going to survive through all of this. Redemption has still been chosen though by the main tank, and well, he's dead anyways. So 23 against 7, but I mean, let's face it, I pretty much thought this game was over here. And that Dragon Knight at the end of the day didn't really do anything. So the defense comes through. And yeah, they didn't scratch the core at all. This core is still at 93%. And now that we have 20 versus 20, let's be honest about this for just a moment. Everything that you've done up to this point has been useless if once your opponent hits level 3. Well, not useless, but there is still catapult pressure on all lanes because the forts have been destroyed. And of course, eliminating the keep at the bottom of the map still is worth a lot too. But there is no massive lead in talents anymore. This level 20 talent advantage that we had previously for the blue team is all of a sudden gone, which means that at least the team fights are going to happen on eye level. Macro becomes obviously important since if Perfect Gems takes their fights outside of those catapults pushing lanes, then they can get some value there and maybe have some minions get towards the core to drop that. But if it's just a clean team fight, the Order of the Sleeping Dragon has an opportunity to not only win the team fight, but then also move down to the bottom of the map and maybe even win the game. Illidan can, I don't want to say solo the core, but if you have a little bit of assistance for him with the rest of the team, they can definitely do that. Alright, they're all very Hearthstoning back here as the blue team shows in the middle of the map. Shrines are activating again in 8 seconds. And with the camp pushing bot side, they have to deal with that. Up at the top, the fort hasn't fallen yet, and of course in an ideal world they want to get this. Nowhere to hide from Illidan. An isolated kill against any hero would be a disaster right now. I have no clue what he's doing. I mean, what the fuck was that? Pyroblast. Wah, wah, wah. So Uther activates his 20, but I really don't know what he was doing there. I mean, it's like no vision and just walks around. It's like he has the wave clear there anyways. Okay, 2 of us is in. They go for the doggy and Rhaegar is down. Uther is dancing too. Illidan comes in to try and change the tide of the battle. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna happen. He makes it out, but down here the B steps have already started because the red team knows extremely well that this is already over. No, with Rhaegar and Uther both down and them not escaping, the Dragon Knight up for grabs. Blue team doesn't even have to waste time for it. They just go in and start to take down the core. But that was a bit of a brain fart moment here on Uther's side for Sleeping Dragon. He gets dropped. His 20 saves him, of course, for a second. But the team fight that shortly afterwards happens also turns against them. Now we have the core attacked, and this time Perfect Gems is not going to be dissuaded here. This is going to be a victory. This is going to be a tie in this series. As Dragonshire ends with a win for Perfect Gems. They get the kill against Illidan on top of it too. They can even eliminate Sergeant Hammer, which makes this a 5-man wipe. And this is game. Nicely done. Perfect Gems with a 1-1 now against Order of the Sleeping Dragon as we head into game number 3 of the best of 5 series. Game number 3, Perfect Gems against the Sleeping Dragon. Okay, to the left side, the blue team with Legacy on Rhaegar, Pogax on Falstad, a little bit of global action as they also add Valamar and Dehaka to the setup. Unaverted is playing Reyna and D-Rack on Johanna, so double global for the blue team, as on the right side of the map we see the Order of the Sleeping Dragon spawn with Corgi Booty. We have Shot on Tyrael, so boss fights with the Sanctification are going to be nice. Enigmatic on Lunara, Bambi is back baby. We have Treebeard on Greymane and Elhaim on Deckard. There's a couple of really interesting moves now, of course. I mean, the combo with Tyrael and Greymane is always a nice one because the Swift Retribution on level 7 can do a whole lot of work with the auto attacks from Greymane. Just generally speaking, Tyrael really empowers the Wolf once the Sanctification is in play, of course. And on top of that, Lunara is really just a staple in the North American meta. That's an interesting trap, by the way. They came from behind. But, yeah. Look at that sneaky fuck. He just moves in and says like, okay boys, I got this. And is he gonna take it? Yeah, he is. Barrels over. Bambi tries to come in. And they are even walking away with the kill, aren't they? It's a double whammy. Love it. Absolutely love it.
First blood.
First blood is in, and they bait with Falstad, take the fountain down, secure themselves a better position at the top. And for anybody that would possibly rotate in, they even have a trap set. And that leads to the death of Lunara. Nicely done. I like it. That's actually a fun play that they made there. I've never seen that before, but that worked quite nicely. How do you like them apples? The red team is immediately like, okay, we hate this game already. But yeah. Now top side we have again that Samuro. We've seen already a bit of Samuro play in one of the previous series on Tomb of the Spider Queen actually, as it happens. In this case a bit of a different setup. Way of the Blade on level 1. Teams now also taking their camps at the same time, but we have a slight difference there. Bruiser camp taken early from the red team since they won't get value during the objective phase from it. And the blue team instead grabs their own Bruiser camp. But of course, another thing that's going to become incredibly important is the timing of this bruiser camp, since the first curse, or the first tribute, spawns at the bottom of the map, so if you take it in time, you will get top lane value, especially of course with the double global. So if they play the macro game nicely, then they have a good chance here to make a bit of headway. Siphoning toxins again on level 4 for Lunara. That's one of the big ones, of course. That's one of the interesting plays here that we've now seen several times on Lunara on the North American side. And it is still fascinating to me how much NA really loves Lunara. Europe doesn't really play her a lot. Maybe at some point we see her pop up there too. But the entire meta in North America is still quite different. I mean, I'm still waiting for the next Shogal game so far. As far as I know, he was banned out the entire time. They played Shogal a lot. And here it is, camp time. Jimmy comes in and says, okay, boys, I got this one. And with 25 seconds on the tribute, that's exactly what he needs. The dog is a little bit, I mean, how the dreist. What's happening there? Ooh, oh my god, they're going for the global play and they're trying to steal it away from them. And they're going for Treebeard. But they might get wrecked. Samuro comes in, he wants the chicken, and he gets the chicken. Falls that down. And Rhaegar gets also wrecked. Yeah, a little bit too greedy. I mean, I can understand the impulse to go for the global plays there. But in this case, they were just a bit too greedy with their attempt to get the quick kill in. Now, granted, if they, of course, drop the target right away, they might have the opportunity to pull that off after all. But now they lost 2 heroes at a crucial moment in time. They lost the camp too, and there's a lot of pressure against them. I mean, Unaverted himself, for example, is also dropping low. So it's going to be tricky. Interesting enough, the red team doesn't really make an insta move onto the tribute. They still have, of course, at the bottom Tyrael, so he can poke, but they're trying to push through the middle with their camp a little bit more. Here we have the Swift Retribution now that he can use to empower Greymane a little bit more. The damage against Johanna, and she eats a lot of that. Can get the blind out always, but Elhaim is getting the channel in, and off we go. Level 7 talents now also give us the Feeding Frenzy over here. We have also full on charged up. In this case, I mean, again, the problem if you don't go for Boomerang is that you also lose a lot of the global pressure that you can put on the map with a hero like Falstad. Ah, good kill against Samuro. Great drag that we saw. But the good thing is also, if you're going up against Greymane, if you're going up against Lunara or Tyrael, heroes that can jump at you, it can make a lot of sense to go into charged up and just like try to get the extra synergy with Static Shield and other talents. So with that build, not going Boomerang is definitely something that you can get away with, for sure. But if you want to focus fully on that macro aspect that you have with the composition, then you would be better off going into Boomerang and just try and avoid some of those team fights. In this case, though, they're really using those rotations to set themselves up for even more kills. We saw the one against Samuro earlier. Now Deckard Cain is down. They're even trying to follow it up with another kill against Greymane. As Falstad moves in. But top side, that fort, of course, is in trouble. Might not really fall, but they get a lot of free damage onto it, so that's great. And, well, let's see. Over here, Legacy is going for the channel, and in we go. 3 kills against 2, 9.5. And Jojo in the middle has to deal with Samuro, who's actually doing some serious work. But topside, more damage against the fort, and nearly a taunt connecting with Tyrael. So they get away with the lead in structures. Done nicely. A lot of the problems are going to come in for the blue team, though, after level 10 hits. I mean, Tyrael in particular really needs that. And there's a nice lockdown from Deckard Cain and a quick kill against Rhaegar. So that already worked quite nicely. D-Reg at the bot lane gets also attacked. Lunara is still sitting tight here. Holding the lane, holding the experience. But, thanks to Samuro and the rest of the lineup, especially, of course, Greymane, they can easily take that boss now. And at the bottom of the map, the blue team decided against making a move for boss themselves. Actually, they go, but just a bit late. And the question remains, can they actually interrupt and start to fight for it? I don't really think that they have the time for that, to make the rotation and fight for it, but yeah, it's going to be an earlier channel up at the top. Johanna is already trying to use that. Keep Tyrael in mind. Sanctification is the thing here. They have 3 heroes running in. Guys, they might be able to contest this after all. Shot, on the other hand, is extremely low. Yeah, and he gets beaten just too heavily. So the boss is let go. But yeah, worst case scenario is always you do all the work and someone else comes in and steals it away. I wonder if he goes for Holy Ground later, given the map. Boss at the top is already doing some fair damage, and now with the second tribute channel by Corgi Booty on his Samuro, we know, of course, that their next one has to be fought over. from the blue team's perspective if they want to avoid the curse itself. But in we go. Bottom of the map is already our little setup here. Them barreling through the wall, a bit of damage from Enigmatic, level 7 talent, as we so often see on NA, choking Pollen over the Splintered Spear, which is much more common on Europe, if we see Lunara, which doesn't really happen a lot in Europe again. The lack of Vala is honestly disturbing on the North America side. It's honestly a bit weird. It's not like you have to pick the hero in every single game, but Vala is for some reason neglected from the NA teams to a fair amount, even on maps like Infernal Shrines, which is just mind-blowing to me. So it's a little bit strange to see that. But yeah, different priorities on heroes, for sure. 3 kills against 3. I mean, at this point in time, it's still fairly even. We have a bit more structural damage from the blue team. Perfect Gems were able to take the fort down topside. Now, of course, it's going to become interesting what happens around the Curse Tribute at the bottom of the map, because this one could definitely put the first nail into the coffin of Perfect Gems if Sleeping Dragon gets a curse and maybe even walks away with a kill in the process. So that would be kind of nice. Alright, so camp's taken. In this case, it's actually only the blue team, sorry, the red team that gets the camp through the middle of the map. On the blue team side, we don't have that. Everybody is already moving in, but the global is now playing a big role here, as Valamar can push that out. Curse will, of course, help. Earlier level 13 is also fantastic, and the Lightning Rod build continues. Channel to let that slide. There's the first interrupt. They're trying to buy themselves a little bit more time, but it's also more pressure at the bottom of the map where the fort is about to go. Well, maybe not fall, but more damage on it. Below the experience lost. Dehaka, Deckard Kane is moving over to try and deal with it. Dehaka is going to get assistance at the top as the siege giants are now moving in too, so that wall is about to fall. Those globals are really starting to make the difference here. And if the red team wants to change that, first of all, they want to force a fight, of course, but they kind of need level 13 for it. And they're starting to suffer a lot here. Greymane comes in, gets damage in against Johanna. She's still trying to go for the channel. Middle of the map, though. That's where at least we're seeing some action from Sleeping Dragon. I mean, they're getting serious damage onto that fort. Top side, keep wall is nearly destroyed. Level 13 talents are now ready on both sides. And we're off to the races here. Abolish magic once again. Interrupt Jimmy, but the fort is down. Fort is down. Dehaka still pushing, and he's going for the keep. Red team is running out of time. At some point, you really have to ask yourself, is this worth it? For now, they're deciding that that's the case, but there's the curse, so at least they grab that. Dehaka is still trying to hold on to top lane pressure for as long as he can, and with the catapult moving in, he might have a chance to actually drop this. Down here, it's a very different story on the other hand. Lunara is already jumping in. He has to hold your ground from Tyrael. Sleep, baby, sleep. Blessed shield. D-Rack in trouble. Gets body blocked. Might be the end of him. The Ancestral keeps him in play for a bit longer, but I don't think Johanna's going to make it out of this. Nope. She falls. Hold your ground. Even stopped all of this as we have a bit of damage against Samuro, but the top keep has fallen. Top keep is gone, which means that Sleeping Dragon is under pressure to get value, and they're trying to make it happen at the bottom of the map. Sanctification is in. Greymane with the aggression, but the Mighty Gust has been used. The curse is still active, but how much damage can they get here? Doesn't seem like they can go for the keep. And they need something. They lost their topside keep. They sacrificed it. It's only 10 more seconds and then the curse is over. So if they really want to push this through, they have to make a play right now. And it doesn't seem possible with also Johanna coming back now to guard the front. So Perfect Gems actually in a better position for now. Level lead for them. Good position topside. And here comes the attack towards the camp. Red team needs to be super careful with this now. Yeah, there's the Blessed Shield as they're moving in, and they could get the kill against Greymane, and they do. Treebeard goes down, and now the rest of the red team is in disarray as we're Falstad bribing the camp, grabbing it with the team. Yeah, and the double global, of course, gives them even more pressure. Double global is already annoying enough when you still have your keeps in play, but once the keeps are down, those globals are pushing for core. And if played correctly, I feel the blue team is going to have such a fantastic position throughout this game. It's going to be very difficult to deal with. Paint them red on 16. The tunneling claws are in. We have the Rising Storm plus the Crippling Hammer. Dehaka will focus a lot more onto the bottom of the map now. Doesn't have to push the top lane anymore, but Forster can take over there whenever they need to. And the mid lane fort is now about to go down as well. Bosses are up again, so they can actually fight over those. It's still a spot where you don't really want to fight if you're the blue team, as long as Tyrael has a Sanctification and the Holy Ground up, because he can just steal or sneak that away. So if you make that play, you have to be careful that you always have Johanna guarding and securing the flank for you, or it's going to be an issue. But they go for it, because they have the level 16 talent advantage, and Johanna is doing exactly what I just said. Drake is sitting tight, takes this one down. In they go. Haka sitting at an angle too. And Tyrael, they have to watch out for Tyrael. That's the important one. If Tyrael gets to hold your ground, Ree can steal it away. You don't want that to happen. But they're able to force the fight now. And I mean, that's half the battle. Isolation misses. That's a problem. Haka's trying to connect another drag here and gets it against Lunara. And she might actually fall here. Oh my god, that Sanctification. Super sexy ult from Tyrael as he's able to just hit it pitch perfect. Now the old man comes in with a sleep attempt, but the red team is in disarray and is moving back now with very few hit points left. They are in trouble, but they are able to escape. Top lane gets still pressured. By now we have Siege Giants and a double catapult in, but yeah, Tyrael just saved the day for them. And the attack happens again. Tyrael has no Sanctification anymore, so they can go over here and make a second attempt at it. Tyrael is already on the move. Needs to be super careful now. If he's actually getting attacked here, it could be an issue. They're zoning him out completely. Hold your ground is a problem that they have to deal with. Yeah, and they keep him at bay. They take the boss and they get the kill. Tyrael was desperately trying to see if he can maybe get a hold your ground off and steal it, but he couldn't. And Samuro was still at the top side, so that was wishful thinking to begin with. 5 kills against 4. Level 16 talents now with unfair advantage and the Executioner. And the rotation towards the top to take the second boss. Boss into boss as the bottom fort falls. Can't be defended. Entire minion wave taken down too. And they are just dominating the macro aspect now. They also have 2 tributes, which means that the next tribute, once that it spawns, is likely giving them the curse. Especially if they grab level 20 before it happens and have a Storm Talent advantage over their opponent to force the fight. But with that boss, I mean, in theory, they can make a play for core now. If you take that boss, there's nothing left on the top lane. It's the only thing that's still there. They're gonna see if they can take a kill. If they get a kill out of this, then they can go for it. There's a Sanctification. Lunara moves in. Greymane actually can't capitalize on it. Instead, the Isolation is already hit. And the Gust into the corner. Lunara is already down. The boss doesn't give a shit about the fight and moves just straight through. Totally unimpressed. 2 heroes down. Third one on the run. And this is bad for Order of the Sleeping Dragon. This is really bad. Here we go. Another kill against Greymane. And that is just lights out. After losing game number 1, the Perfect Gems win 2 in a row as they drop their opponent on Cursed Hollow and secure the victory and the lead in this best of 5 series. 2 for 1 for them. Let's head straight into game number 4. Game number 4. The memes are real as Perfect Gems go up against the Sleeping Dragon again. Infernal Shrines, and we have a rematch. The other day, we had a best of 5 series in which Cho'Gall went up against Deathwing, and what can I say? The big fat ogre won and took Deathwing down, and now we have that battle again as Perfect Gems go for Unaverted on Gal and Direk on Cho. We have Valamar on Urel, PogX on Kalthas, and Legacy on Ana. On the other side, though, Sleeping Dragon with Corgi Booty on Deathwing, Enigmatic on Tychus, Shot on Tyrande, Elhaim on Uther, and Treebeard on Zul. Oh, NA, never change. Never change. So, a couple of things to talk about here. Cho'Gall is, of course, these days a little bit stronger, especially if you can get him together with Oriel for the Resurrect. But what worries me a little bit is that on the red team side, I really don't like Tyrande these days. She was once one of the best heroes that you could possibly pick for yourself, oftentimes ended up either banned or insta-picked. But now the hero just doesn't cut it anymore. Now, of course, they compensate for a little bit of that by picking Uther as an additional healer. But the entire setup that they're running here is still a little bit odd. You have the Hunter's Mark against Cho'Gall, which can be kind of nice, especially if Tychus makes it in with his minigun and is able to get the bigger they are through after level 4. But Tigers obviously himself also suffers from the fact that his auto attack range is pretty slow. We have Treebeard on Zool. That's a little bit something that we see occasionally played in Division S Europe as well. Not really all that much, but on the NA side it has always been slightly more popular. Gets a lot of wave clear through and can really help out to make rotations happen and put pressure onto the lanes, of course. But at the end of the day, they have to deal with Cho'Gall. Ana is going to do a lot here. Can now nano boost either Gal or can nano boost Khaldor. So there's a lot of AoE that we have for perfect gems whenever it comes to a fight on the shrines. So the red team definitely has a little bit of potential and potential momentum here. But if played correctly, I feel especially Tyrande is going to suffer here. I can't remember a game, honestly, where Tyrande was played on Division S level in the last few months where she actually got any value. She dropped completely off the European meta for a reason. Again, Hunter's Mark, of course, is a bit of an aspect there. There's also a couple of auto attack talents that could help her later on. But it will be a bit of a challenge, I assume. Now, there is obviously also the CC effect. You can start to get stuns in with, first of all, Uther, with Tyrande. We'll see if they can actually follow up with that properly. But for the time being, at least, Perfect Gems are in a setup where they are just trying to keep the Ogre alive. There's obviously a lot of focus onto him. Now with the talents we have for the Calloused Hide on level 1, Uppercut on level 4, as we so often see, and Cho'Gall is just zipping around the battlefield. Taskmaster is helping with the cooldown reduction. We have the Runic Persistence for the Detonate. And while all of this happens in the 4-man, top side, we have Urel picked once again from Valamar. We had that previously, of course, on Dragonshire. And he is, I mean, Space Goat apparently is stronger than Deathwing. Deathwing is struggling there. Talking about people that struggle, down goes Tigers. So much for being a hard counter. Tigers down, but Ana moved out a little bit too fast, and Granny is dead too. So a kill for a kill, as we have level 4 talents both sides, and I have no idea what that is. Why the fuck would you go for In the Rhythm against Cho'Gall? Hello? I mean... what? Nine! You have 2 heroes, 3 heroes that can stun your target. It's the perfect setup to slide in and get the bigger they are value. If you don't take the bigger they are here against him, where the fuck are you gonna take it? Why does he go for stacks? Like, what? What's happening here? Okay, Tigers is definitely drunk. I chalk it up to him just simply misclicking. He fat-fingered the keys and he clicked by accident the wrong target, the wrong skill. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there, because that makes 0 sense to me. No, that is just... No. Not against Cho'Gall. With Hunter's Mark on Tyrande, with stuns on Uther, with a Bone Prison, nope. Just a big, fat nope.
Nope.
Anyways, fight is already ensuing right over the first objective. Cho'Gall gets dropped pretty quickly here, as we're seeing the red team homing in on him. But there's obviously now also a lead for the red team when it comes to the stacks alone. They have to fall back a little bit, but that first objective is definitely theirs. It's not really so the first objective that worries me. It's more so the later stages of the game when Cho'Gall can really get the value unleashed here. 21 stacks now for the In the Rhythm on Tigers, but, well, let's see how this is gonna turn out for them. But again, huge misstep. Honestly, big misstep. I mean, the bigger they are is the talent. If you see any Tigers, Europe, I don't even remember when we last time saw a Tigers on Europe that picked In the Rhythm. And that goes against any hero. And Cho'Gall is one of the most hit point heavy heroes that you actually see in the game. So if you don't get the value there, you're never going to get it. It's the perfect setup, and I feel this is going to bite them in the butt later on. That was definitely not a good choice here. 8 against 8. 1 against 1. That first Punisher has been taken down pretty quickly. Didn't really get anything done. I mean, not even the entire wall was dropped there. So down to the bottom of the map, we have Treebeard now, just roaming with Zulin, trying to get all of the wave clear in that he can't possibly manage. That's where the hero really shines, and with his entire build, having the Harvest Vitality and the Grim Scythe, it obviously also helps to keep him in play in those fights then later on in the game. Let's have a look. Elhaim is getting a bit of a beating there at the front. I mean, again, having him on Uther obviously puts him again in one of those, hey, I am a semi-tank positions. Kalthas at the bot lane has also started to take a bit of a beating from Treebeard, especially since Tyrande was around too. Goes again into Sunfire Enchantment. Played Kalthas already earlier with quite a bit of success. I want to say that the last time when he picked Pyroblast, the Pyroblast, as usual, didn't really get a whole lot of value for him. I think he only fired out once during the entire game. And I think he might have even gotten a kill against Illidan, if I remember correctly. But outside of that, every single other ult that he used didn't really do a whole lot. But now that we're looking at this game, we have level 10 abilities slightly faster for the Sleeping Dragon. Again, the Burn Beneath My Shadows. Starfall. There's also the stuns from Uther. The level 10 abilities from the blue team give us, surprise, surprise, the Nano Boost. Gull and Kalthas would both be very happy about this. Pyroblast again. Yeah, North America won't stop, can't stop with the memes here. 10 against 11. And off we go. Quest is completed, so Kalthas is going to be a lot safer now. Next objective should be announced soon, as the red team is thinking about rotating in for a bit of a surprise. Yeah, not this time. Kalthas immediately with the gravity lab saying like, yep, you are not going to get a drop on me. And as I said, okay, for a second it looked like he would move up to the top, but he didn't. Okay, Cho'Gall gets attacked, goes into his ult. Where's the heals? There we are. Doesn't have 13 yet, can't save himself, and the Ogre goes down. The Ogre eliminated. Oh, value, 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 yeah! They heal too late. Elhaim actually healing himself. Half a second was missing, he could have denied it, but Kalthas drops the big boy Pyroblast and actually gets some value for it. Nice. The drill is also being played. It's like it's 2016 again, guys. In the Rhythm on level 4 and Dragon Laser Drill on level 10. So no Odin around the objective either. I mean, within the Rhythm you mostly see drill picked, but it's still kind of funny to see that. It's really like it's a build that has been used ages ago. But so far, they have a slight lead in experience. They have taken the first objective. The problem is that now slowly and steadily Tyrande is going to have more trouble. Yeah, exactly like this, for example. Down she goes. That's only the first kill. We could see more. Cho'Gall gets stunned, but Zul gets killed, and he's not the only one. We have, with another setup against Uther, a triple kill for the blue team. And this is a fantastic position to be in when you're fighting for the objective. Very likely a Punisher in their hands. And yeah, looks good. Easy peasy setup. Down to the bottom of the map. Tychus is still sitting there. Over here, 24,000 damage for him. 19,000 for Gal. And easy peasy objective. Plus level 13 talent, of course. It's a little bit of jumpy jumps in the middle. Baited! Nice! Yeah, that was a nice juke. That dragon didn't get anything there. Okay, all of a sudden, with 13 talents in, we also see a cooldown reduction once more, as in the previous game where Kalthas was played for Gex. And on top of that, they're starting to move in with a Punisher, and they're actually moving in deep behind all of this. Yeah, push back again. So that doesn't really do a whole lot, but I think they're going to get that structure anyways. Deathwing is still at the top. Ural is moving in to deal with him. But down here, Punisher doesn't really quite get the damage in, but at least with a bit more oh, actually, yep, they're getting it after all. Kalthas helps out a little bit. They're already moving over to take the camp. Could now also grant vision over here. I mean, this one's gonna fall anyway, so they don't even have to grant vision. But they could have done that easily. Do that now. Yep. And that's a drop on the fountain. Always take the fountain down. Molten block. Not really sure if that was needed. I think they expected a follow-up, which didn't come here. Neo Steel Coating, like that. We get Inferno also in. 5 kills against 3 and a bit of a lead in experience. I don't know, but Cho'Gall on the choo-choo train is just wrong. I can't even tell you why, but it's just wrong. I don't know. It's just weird. Okay, so with this now, we currently have more survivability on Cho'Gall. Having Molten Block available is always great. Yeah, starts to face check this one. And is able to move out for now. Yeah, actually, let's go and go deep. Pyroblast, yeah, gets soaked up quickly. And Cho'Gall is a bit isolated, but has the nano boost now and is starting to drop some mad damage here. The kill against Uther and the kill against Ana. Supports are living a dangerous life, and now we even have the kill against Tychus. I mean, it's just happening all over the place all of a sudden. They're trying to go for Tyrande again, and Shot has absolutely no chance of escaping this one. 7 kills against 4, make it 8. Shot with the B-step. He obviously knows that he has no chance of escaping here. And that's the kill. So 8 kills against 4 and nearly level 16 for Perfect Gems. Yeah, looking more powerful by the minute. Moving into the mid lane now to take this down too. Alright. Easy peasy right here. Okay. Already 83 stacks for Tychus, by the way. But again, your main objective is to burn down Cho'Gall, and if you really want to pull that off, especially with the Hunter's Mark, then it's still value time for the bigger they are. Cho'Gall now on 16, also with a Shadow Snare. And we have the Frenzied Fist right here, with, on top of that, some aggression towards the top side. 2 forts are already down. Blue team hasn't lost a single main structure yet. We have Ignite on 16 for Khaldor, as he's trying to drop the additional damage. And of course also threaten the AoE value. For the shrine itself is also going to be great. Zul is doing his thing at the bottom of the map, slicing away at that gate. Someone has to deal with that eventually, and it seems like Khaldor is going to be the one trying to deal with it. Wave clear is there for him. 95,000. Where's the gravity lapse? There, and the damage setup. Nice. Oriel is also... Urel is coming in too. That could be a kill. That is going to be a kill. The Pyroblast. Again, it's always these ults that don't really mean anything because the target dies anyway, so it's always a bit of a wasted situation, but I guess better safe than sorry. Urel jumped in hooves first and was able to drop the target either way, but now she's in the mid lane. Yeah, here's a kill attempt. Cho'Gall with a Molten Block. Stun didn't connect, and he gets out. This is a perfect example of a kill that would have happened 100% if he would have gone for the bigger they are. 100% kill if you go the bigger they are here. I mean, Cho'Gall shouldn't be caught like that in the first place, but if it happens, that would be a kill there. Talking about kills, Uther is down, and all of this happens with follow-ups against Tychus, just as we're looking at another objective. Gravity Lapse, the continuous CC, ultra reliable from Khaldor here. He used it in the game on Dragonshire, and he does it here again. They're diving in deep, by the way. I mean, really deep. Dragon... Afraid of the dragon, my ass, baby. Even diving underneath the fort, but maybe diving a little bit too much. Have to move away as Zul drops his ult, but with 5 heroes against 3, they still have that bad boy lead as everybody focuses on the next objective here. Concussion Grenade at this point, also another tool that is now enhanced by the Titan Grenade on the other side. That really helps with the extra damage against Cho'Gall, so now he's going for it. And, well, let's see. 10 against 10, 16 versus 16 talents, 11 against 4 kills, but they don't have level 20 yet. But they're so far ahead that there's just absolutely no way. When you look to the kills, I mean, 4 deaths on Tychus, again, it's pretty much a problem of him not having the attack range that he needs in order to make a difference here. If Blizzard at any point reworks the hero, they should really just increase his attack range again and then balance him around an increased attack range. Because right now, this is his biggest problem. For sure. This is gonna hurt. It could be worse. It could be a level 20 on the side of Perfect Gems, but it is starting to be difficult. 35,000 damage for Gall. Tychus is still more or less keeping up with it, but if those damage points don't lead to kills, then of course you can do very little there. Camps are taken. We have, by the way, both camps in the mid lane now focusing in on this, so the fort might actually fall. The problem is that up at the top, depending on what happens with the fight itself, we could even see them try and get a little bit more. In comes the attack against Zul. Zul slices, Zul dices, stays alive for a little bit longer, and the Pyroblast takes him down. Tychus is there too. Uther falls, and there's a Pyroblast against Deathwing, and Khaldor walks away with 3 kills. The B steps on shot, and he's just resigning himself to the inevitable fate of what's happening now. The fort is down at the top, the keep falls now too, and the next goal is the core itself, and they are going to drop this one easily. Nicely done and well played. Perfect Gems with a 3-1 victory over Sleeping Dragon. Extremely well played here by them. Good coordination in the team fights now, and Cho'Gall therefore victorious for the 2nd time against Deathwing. GG! And well played as the Perfect Gems secure the best of 5 victory and secure themselves an even better position in the standings of Division S North America.